Good evening. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Monday evening. It is, you see the time down there. There's a lot of Celtic news to get around tonight because there is a lot of activity within the transfer market regarding Celtic. Johnny Kenny, first up, Johnny Kenny is set to hand Celtic a huge profit as two clubs are battling for the signature of Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny, who was obviously at loan at Bolton towards the end of the second half of last season, who did fantastically well at Bolton until he got injured. It looks like Bolton are one of the teams, and there is, as said, another team that's meant to be fighting for the signature of Johnny Kenny, according to journalist Alan Nixon. Could it be Millwall? I've got a mate that's a Millwall fan. I know you don't really need to know that, but he's not really into football anyway. But anyway, Millwall and Bolton Wanderers are the two teams that are trying to get Johnny Kenny in the door. Now, earlier on today, the Celtic media team had a bit of a bogey. Yep, a bit of a... Why the hell would they put out a picture of Martin O'Neill like this? Martin O'Neill looks like every other Celtic fan, sitting, waiting and wondering when transfers will come in this window. Maybe he's wondering what Callum McGregor's going to do, because there's a lot of speculation, because Callum McGregor was pictured with Brendan Rodgers' family member and his agent. Everyone is putting two and two together. Anyway, enough of that and of Martin O'Neill. There is another Celtic player that has been on the lips of many Celtic fans for a long time. He's had a lot of negative comments over the past couple of weeks, people saying that Jota can get two and do one because he won't be the same player. Martin O'Neill has confirmed today that Jota will be back before the end of November. He reckons he'll be back before Halloween, which he does return to Lennoxtown next week. He has been rehabilitation in his home country of Portugal. He has been doing his rehab in his hometown, and he returns to Celtic Park next week. Martin O'Neill doesn't expect him to be match fit or physically fit. He is just fit after that really, really bad injury that's kept him out for so long. Martin O'Neill says that we need to get him back on the grass. We need to get him doing straight runs. First of all, need to get him back to just running. He hasn't done any. So this is all the next stage of his fitness. Martin O'Neill did say that he does not expect him to be back and available until Halloween, which means that Martin O'Neill has pretty much said that I have to take Jota out of my train of thought because we've got an important qualifier for the Champions League in August. We have Cup game in August. We have the start of the league in August. And then if we get into the Champions League, it's straight into the Champions League game. By the time that Jota returns in the middle of December, Celtic are going to be pretty much out of the Champions League group stage by that time. It will be a bonus if Jota comes back for Celtic when they are maybe in the last, I don't know, the knockout phase. Who are we kidding? Anyway, we move on from that because Kelechi Iheanacho has been confirmed by Martin O'Neill today that Kelechi Iheanacho has been offered a new deal at Celtic, but reports claiming that a 2-year contract had been agreed are wide off the mark. Let's see if we could find out some more about that tomorrow when we are in Portugal and see if we can get up and close to personal to Martin O'Neill and if we can ask him some serious questions that the Celtic fan base want to know. Update on Marcelo Sarace is Celtic are no further forward of that, and Martin O'Neill is not aware of any fresh bids for Arnie Engels. Whilst the likes of Rio Hatate were pictured at training, Sean Maloney took to the Celtic player app to talk about pre-season training. He did confirm that there's a lot of 16 and 17 year olds at the training camp at Portugal and they're finding it extremely difficult because they're training with the first team. This has been their first pre-season in football. Finding it very difficult. It's a very Celtic thing. He also said that there's 3 camps in the training camp in Portugal. They're the first team players to play first team football. There are the loan players that have came back to Celtic, and there's not many of them, to be honest. So we're looking at maybe 2 or 3. And then there are the younger players that Celtic have taken over to Portugal, and he confirmed that there were a lot of 16 and 17-year-olds that had been taken over just purely to make up the numbers for the training sessions. It's very, very difficult at this time of year for Martin O'Neill to really be thinking about what his squad is going to be for the first game of the season. Whilst all the Celtic fans would love nothing more than a new signing to come in the door, it looks like there's going to be a revolving door at Celtic. It's going to be players out before players come in. Martin O'Neill has come to realise that that is the Celtic way, unfortunately. He's now realising what Brendan Rodgers knew, what Ange Postecoglou came up against, and even got to go as back as Ronnie Dyler. Don't know, even he came up against the Celtic board taking their time. Anyway, that's your Celtic update this evening, Monday the 13th. I will be in Portugal tomorrow. I will be at the training camp tomorrow, and I will be at the game tomorrow night. Make sure that you tune in and subscribe to the channel for more One Celtic Fans View content. And I thank you, every single one of you that have subscribed to the channel and do watch the videos. Subscribe, go on, because we're trying to get up to 28,000.